Good day and welcome to your favorite program, The Conversation, coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Nelson Ekujumina and I have with me in the studio on this edition of The Conversation, Comrade Murphy Abadoni. Comrade Murphy, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good day, Nelson Ekujimi. Good day, viewers.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, like we all know, The Conversation is a topical issues-based program. And we have quite a number of issues on our card this morning. Top of the bill is that come Wednesday, May 29th, the federal government of Nigeria, that is the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government, at the center, will be marking its 1 year in office. And if you look at 1 year since the administration assumed the reins of leadership, we want to look at it from the point of view of the economy. You will agree with me that the government has, shown that it's capable of taking hard decisions, like it had done with the fuel subsidy removal, as well as the unification of the exchange rate system. And the aftermath is that the economy had an earthquake. What do I mean by this earthquake? We had, distortions in the prices of goods and services, and some Nigerians, reason that this was the best thing to do at this time. And any rational and logical mind knew that there was no alternative to saving the country's economy from the hemorrhaging that had been inflicted on it by those two policies if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had not taken that bold decision. That bold decision has come with pains. And at every point in time, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu tells us, and even his aides, tells us that yes, it's like a woman who is pregnant. It comes with a lot of inconveniences. It comes with a lot of, pains. But at the end of the day, this is where we are going. And I can tell you for free, people used to say, things can never be good in Nigeria, and I'm an optimist. I'm somebody who believes passionately, because I have no other country than Nigeria. I don't know of any other person. I can only speak for myself. I believe strongly that some of the decisions this administration has taken with regards to economic, policies. You look at the central bank. You look at the policies the central bank has put in place to arrest galloping inflation. The MPC sat, was it early in the week, maybe Monday or so, and raised the interest rate just to arrest inflation. But we all know that the inflation that we are battling with is a product of so many factors. The factors that the monetary factors that the central bank has powers over is what she's focusing on. Those other factors that are driving inflation, in terms of the fiscal factors, in terms of security, are things that we need to also ask questions where we are. So for me, I think the last 1 year has been one of tough economic decisions with the goal of making Nigeria better in future. Because as a social scientist, I always tell people, if I take a course of action and you tell me the road I'm traveling on is not the right one, the next question I'll ask you, where is the right one? Show me the road map. You can't tell me this road I'm taking is not good and not provide me an alternative, because if you tell me it's not good, it means you are telling me I should backtrack. And if I backtrack, then it means I'm going to take another route. You can't tell me I'm going on the road and you tell me, oh, don't go on that road. You now tell me to backtrack. And I will ask you, do you want me to remain stagnant? Because I need to make progress.
Thank you very much once again. I think it's a well-known fact that the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken some very critical decisions, and some of the persons like us who have been in the system for a while were never
We're
in
not caught
doubt,
unawares.
whenever in doubt of his ability to take bold decisions when it requires. So that wasn't
When
really
necessary.
a shock. Like you try to give an analysis, but for me, I'll rather put it this way: it's like a situation where you have a sick member of your family who will either die or go through a very painful surgery.
Yeah.
And any wise and right-thinking individual will decide that that person goes through a surgery process. But what so many of us are looking at this point is the handling of the process of healing after a successful surgery.
Yeah.
Because it is obvious that Nigeria has had a successful surgery. When I'll give you an example, some people may not actually agree with it, but it's just natural. We don't have to agree.
We don't have to agree on everything.
Yes, on the first day, the inauguration day, the president made a pronouncement that subsidy was gone.
It's gone.
Some people applauded that. Some people disagreed completely with that.
Absolutely.
Even if I'm one of those who also has refused to align with those who want to make it look like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu removed subsidy. And that has caused a lot of arguments all over the place, even in major media, TV stations and the rest of them. I've seen personalities, I've seen people who should know.
No, peddling ignorance. Or
Even
maybe it's
argue
mischief
over this. I've seen a situation whereby two individuals that should know, a lawyer and a very well-known journalist, were arguing on this issue. And at the end of that, they were merely saying the same thing, just that personal interests wouldn't allow them to understand each other. We're saying subsidy was removed. One is saying the current president removed it on inauguration day. The other one is saying no, it has been removed by law, by the National Assembly. If you say this president announced it,
yes, that is better.
And that is where I stand actually, because I deal with facts. I deal with facts. I don't believe in...
No, facts move a society,
yes,
not emotion.
I deal with facts, even when
facts are
sometimes
sacred.
Facts can be very unpopular.
Facts are very, very, very hard,
but that is just the truth.
Yes,
subsidy today, and I think I'm saying this because of our viewers. Subsidy was removed through the National Assembly.
Yeah. Because it was the Appropriation Act covered only January to May.
Thank you. And that was during the administration of the former President
Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes. President Tinubu inherited it.
Yes.
But maybe as a politician who was coming into office, who had a plan of what he intends to do, maybe he felt that in his inauguration speech should be the best time
to announce it.
To not just to announce, it has already been there. It has been in the public domain already, but maybe to re-echo it to the people.
You know, we live in a society where people will see the truth.
Yeah.
Even when you put it in front of their nose, and they'll pretend as if they can't see
exactly. So it was more like telling you what you should already know.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And this is this is irrespective of your like and dislikes for him as an individual
or for his administration.
But it was what has taken place to a National Assembly that has people who are representing you and
the generality of Nigerians.
And so that is that. So I'm saying at this point that the man has done well. He has taken some critical decisions, but I want to see the president and his team manage. I want to see not just to be hard, but to be seen that they are managing the healing process of that surgery, so that it can go further to caution, because there is no doubt that these decisions has also increased the suffering of the people, which is not natural.
Increase the cost of living.
Of course, that is the suffering itself.
And again,
and that is natural. That is not just because the president is a wicked man. That is not just because the president does not want Nigerians, but it was because it's a healing process, and there has to be some pains that goes with it.
But Comrade Murphy, we must also not run away from the fact that this surgery that has been engineered by,
That has been successfully carried out.
That
And we are in the process of healing.
those who are to provide the materials for the healing to take place, we must also let our viewers know that it's not only the federal government, the state government have a role to play, a critical role.
Including the local government.
Including the local government.
Private sector.
Yes.
Of course.
They have so people should stop looking at it.
Unfortunately, Nelson, an average Nigerian only channels his complains to Abuja, the federal government. And to even, not just Abuja, but to the executive arm of government.
It's
purely to the executive arm of government.
I think it's the role of is the level of understanding of people that has made them to look in this direction. Because I told somebody one day when we were talking about government, I said, look, I live in Lagos. I'm more interested in what my local government chairman, my state governor is doing. You know why? If there's a crisis in my local government today, the first person I will call is my chairman.
He's the closest.
The man in Abuja is so...
Before your chairman, have you forgotten that there's even a councillor?
There's even a councillor.
Closest to you.
Then you call the
state... But so many people don't even know who is a
councillor. If we want to stage a protest now on an issue in Lagos, it's easier for us to carry placard and go to the
local government office,
and the state house of assembly. But how many of us can afford the cost of, even if it is by road, from here to Abuja?
You can't.
The risk and everything. So people must understand that the situation we are.
In most times, what you are asking for, is it what is meant to be provided by Abuja?
By local government or by the state. Yes, those are the questions. So this healing process, I love the analogy you gave. This healing process is one that has many carers.
Yes.
The carers are the federal government, the carers are the state government, the carers are the
which is government. Like when you bring it into the medical settings, you have the doctors, you have the lab scientists,
you have the nurse,
you have the nurses, you have the pharmacists. That must play a role
they all have
for this patient to be completely healed.
Yes, absolutely. And the family, which is we the people.
Yes.
We must also make sure that those drugs that we have been given, if they say 3 times a day,
that it has to be 3 times.
It has to be 3 times.
The family must be there to also ensure that when the doctor says give this 3 times a day, the doctor also expects that the person must be given food.
Yes.
The drugs will not be taken on empty
Yes, and stomach. That is why as citizens, we must also recognize that these challenges that we are facing, we all have a role to play in supporting one another.
All hands needs to be on deck.
Yes, we don't only have rights as citizens, we also have responsibilities.
For sure.
So part of our responsibility is to keep ourselves abreast and not allow people to hoodwink us or mislead us.
That's true.
Because we have seen it repeatedly. People have politicized everything.
Almost everything, yes.
People don't want to be sincere with things. And, we have people who are still...
The dangers of that, especially with our political class, whom one way or the other eventually influence a major part of our population. Once they are not in office, then the system must go down. That is the way, those are the kind of politicians we have today. Once they are unable to succeed, once they don't win elections, the system must go down. Nothing good must come from the government and all that. And we need to have a change of mindset.
The government...
We must put... This morning, while preparing to be here, I was just thinking aloud. I was like, if you go to the U.S., an average U.S. citizen, for instance, during the regime of President Trump, there were so many Americans who were displeased. There were so many Americans who didn't want Trump to win the election.
Yes.
But Trump won. And immediately after the elections, everybody went back to their businesses, and the American interest became number one. And they were just like, America has to come for. They only endured for Trump to round up his tenure for life to continue. Even the current president of America bidding, there were those who didn't want Biden to become the president.
That's life.
But Biden has won, and the interest of the American as a country becomes paramount.
Absolutely.
So we must copy from that.
Absolutely.
You don't need to like the president. You don't need to like those who are in
power. Nigeria first.
Nigeria first.
Thank you very much, Comrade Murphy Abadoni.
It's my pleasure once again.
Yes, thank you for that incisive analysis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we want to call it a wrap on the first stanza of the program. We'll go on a short break and we'll be right back. Please continue to watch the conversation on TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you. We'll be right back. Yes, welcome to the second stanza of the program, the conversation coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name remains Nesine Kujimi, and I still have with me in the studio Comrade Murphy Abadoni. Comrade, thank you for staying with us.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, in this second stanza of the program, we want to look at we are still counting down to 1 year of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, and this time around, we want to look at infrastructure. On assuming office, one fact that we cannot run away from for the previous administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is that was an administration that left a legacy of infrastructural renewal that no administration before him can ever match. Under President Muhammadu Buhari, we had our various train stations. Train that was a means of transportation in the 70s, 80s that died under the military. President Muhammadu Buhari resuscitated them. And today, you can board a train from Lagos to Ibadan. Today, the NRC is inaugurating the train stations in Alaja, that's in Delta State to Kogi. We have the train from Abuja to Kano, Abuja to Kaduna. Then, as we speak, come May 29, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be inaugurating the Abuja light rail train that went comatose because of COVID-19, and the cables and all the facilities were vandalized. But under the present administration, it has been resuscitated. Under this present administration, we have seen that those infrastructural legacy put in place by President Muhammadu Buhari has been worked on. For example, several roads are being commissioned. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway has started. So if you look at 1 year of this administration, one thing the administration has done, which we must give kudos for, is that just like its predecessor, you recall when President Muhammadu Buhari came into office, his motto was that his administration was not going to embark on any new projects until all abandoned projects by his predecessors have been completed. And that is exactly what this administration is doing. Roads, if you go on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway now, the Long Bridge axis that was not completed till the former administration left office, the work is still going on there. And like Oliver Twist, I live in Lagos. I want to use this medium to appeal to the present administration that the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway is a federal highway. Please, Mr. President, please, National Assembly, we need your intervention on that road. That road is critical to the economic survival, to the social well-being of the people of Nigeria. That is a road a lot of Nigerians, whether you live in Ogun or your Lagos, that's a road we traverse on a daily basis. That road has become a death trap. We need intervention of the federal government on that. And you talk about the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. I've been reliably informed that work is still ongoing. You look at the power sector, the power infrastructure put in place by President Muhammadu Buhari is being improved upon by the present administration. You look at the petroleum sector, for example, the Dangote refinery has come on stream. We are told that by July ending this year, the Port Harcourt refinery will start production. The Dangote refinery has started producing Jet A1 fuel as well as diesel. And Alhaji Aliko Dangote has told us that maybe before the end of this year, we'll start producing petrol. And that would lift the burden of using our high-end forex to purchase finished petroleum product. So for me, Despite the challenges that we are, I can see renewed hope in the horizon.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very happy that you made reference to the infrastructural development brought by the previous administration.
Yeah.
I am one person who took my time to study the achievements of the former administration, especially in the areas of infrastructure. And whether you like it or not, the man may have had his errors. The man may
No human being is perfect
yes,
except
the
God.
man may not have managed the economy to your expectation, but you can't take away the fact that that administration embarked massively on infrastructural projects all over the federation.
Absolutely.
Under its administration, we had the second Niger bridge working.
From beginning, this was a bridge that former President Obasanjo between 1999 to 2007
Yes.
promised,
Yes.
and he didn't touch it.
Yes.
Not even a 6 inches block was put on ground. President Goodluck Jonathan between 2010 to 2015, when he was voted out, turned the sword of that bridge twice.
Yes.
Not not a 6 inches or 9 inches block was put on that. But under President Muhammadu Buhari, for 8 years,
it was commissioned and put to use.
Put to use.
So
wonderful.
You must give that to you. Under his administration too, the Lagos Ibadan
Expressway,
Kaduna Abuja Rail.
Yes.
Under his administration, people of my state could easily take train from as far as Warri, Abraka, and Co. to what is it called in Kogi?
What is it?
So,
yes.
What am I trying to say?
Itakwe.
Itakwe. And currently, I think the
Abia Port Harcourt train is working.
That is exactly what
under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
So you must give that to that administration. In as much as I will not argue with you that they may not have gotten it right in some areas. It's just fine. Then, like we say, government is a continuum.
Absolutely.
And, it's always wise that administrations should first of all take a look at what their predecessor had done wrongly and rightly, and try to continue or to carry on with those projects and policies that are in the right direction. Now, which is just the current, administration is doing. Carry on with infrastructural projects all over the federation, because whether you like it or not, like look at the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Sometimes I listen to radio stations, I watch it, and I see some people try to criticize it. Some people have went as far as saying that money could have been used to create jobs. And I was just wondering. I was like, come on, do you know how many jobs
will be created by that project?
Because of that construction.
And even after it has been completed, the jobs that will be created on that corridor.
And do you think it's every project that must yield instant result to benefit to them? These are long-lasting projects.
Absolutely.
And I've told people, I say, even when you want to look at it from the regional politics,
from your myopic, from the ethnic,
don't you think the people of that axis, people of that,
they deserve a better life?
Southern
I'm an Ilajeman.
Deserves that.
For me to travel to Igbokoda,
yes,
I will take Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
Yes.
At Shagamu, I make a detour.
Yes.
Until I get to Akinfosile or Ore. Then I will branch in to Kitupupa.
Yes.
So with that road, I will be spending. Thank God for President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes.
In the past, under previous administration, on that journey I've just analyzed to you, we spent 7 to 8 hours.
Yes.
But under President Muhammadu Buhari, because of the development with the Sukuk bond,
yes,
on the Benin or Expressway,
go and look at that road. On that road,
it was now 3-4 hours.
You see the miracle that was done by Sukuk bond.
So now we have a Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. I traveled, a friend of ours, a friend of the house, Citizen Jones.
Yeah.
I traveled with him to Calabar. We left Lagos around 8 a.m. We got to Calabar 11 p.m. in the night. Driving.
Yes.
With this coastal highway, in less than 7 hours.
You are there.
We're in Calabar.
Of course.
And somebody is telling me.
Nelson, with this coastal highway, it means that you may not necessarily have to drive.
I don't, there's also a train.
I have driven severally to Akwa Ibom, and it was hell.
Oh.
But if you have this in place, I don't need to drive. I don't need to drive.
Look at the time factor. Look at the benefits economically, both to your health or to your vehicle.
Let me even go myopic for the purpose of this discussion. The people of the Niger Delta region deserves better.
They deserve a better life.
Because these are people
from good soil
who owns the crude oil that the Nigerian economy survives on. So
absolutely.
A coastal highway is not too much for them to have. If you want me to go myopic, they should even have more.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So let the project go on.
Yes.
Kudos to the government. Kudos to those who are in support of the project.
Yes.
And let's hope that the government can complete the project. And let's expect that the government will do more. The essence of government is to work for us.
But yeah, it's for the governance is the meaning of governance is to ameliorate human condition.
And government project, irrespective of where
it is
they are cited, is government project and it's for the benefits of all.
People, the government
that is one thing we must understand.
Because it's in Niger Delta, so somebody who is from Kano
cannot
travel on that road.
No, it's absolutely a Nigerian project.
It's for humanity.
Yes.
Even a foreigner, somebody who is not a Nigerian,
will use
that road for his benefit.
That is what
Comrade
it is.
Murphy Abadoni, I want to thank you very much for your submission on this.
My pleasure as always.
Second stanza of the program. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have assessed the scorecard of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration in 1 year. We have looked at infrastructure, we have looked at the economy, and we have given the government a pass mark in the midst of these challenges. We have alluded to the fact that the government has taken inevitable, unavoidable, hard, critical decisions for a better Nigeria. And we can see a renewed hope in the horizon. And we are very sure in the next couple of years, we will all be smiling. Well, this is where we want to call it a wrap on this edition of the program. Till we come your way again next time, please continue to watch the conversation coming to you from TV 360 in Nigeria. Till we come your way again, bye-bye and have a great day.